Hi students, I welcome to all of you to this session of refrigeration and air conditioning. Dear students, this is your lecture number 22 under the module 2. Here basically we are going to discuss about the refrigeration components and control, and it is the lecture number part 1 for this lecture for this module. And here today we are going to discuss about the compressor part. Okay, so outline here you can see introduction, compressor, condenser, expansion valve and evaporators. These will be discussed in this module. And you know that compressor in the vapor compression system, we have used the compressor, condenser, in evaporator. Okay, and some refrigeration control like your capillary tube or hand expansion valve or automatic expansion valve also discussed. Also we are used. Now the refrigerant compressor, it is basically a compressor is a vapor, that means heart of the vapor compression system. Okay, we can say the compressor is without compressor, a vapor compression refrigeration system cannot be operated. Okay, and it pumps and circulate refrigerant through the system just as the heart pumps and circulates blood, as the heart pumps and circulate blood through the body. So you know that if as the heart pump is circulating blood through the body, it is the compressor which is pumping or which is circulating the refrigerant to the condenser, and it is taking the refrigerant, your vapor refrigerant, low pressure vapor refrigerant from the evaporator. Okay, so and what are the basically function of the compressor? It is compressing the refrigerant which is entering into the compressor from the evaporator. Okay, so what is you can see the compressor. There are three or four types of compressor. I can say the reciprocating compressor, centrifugal compressor, rotary compressor and screw compressor. Okay, so the reciprocating compressor, in case of reciprocating compressor, it is very suitable for the refrigerant R2, R12, R22, R502, R717. Okay, so these are the refrigerant and it is suitable for this kind of refrigerant. Okay, now the next is your centrifugal refrigerant, centrifugal compressor. The centrifugal compressor is basically suitable for R11, R12, R113, etc. And rotary compressor, this is suitable for R21, R114. Okay, so these are the refrigerant. Okay, and screw compressor also there. So we will be discussing one by one. So what is the main general arrangement of the compressor set? First of all, from the source heat is taken. Now the from by the help of the prime mover, some work is done. Okay, on the compressor, and compressed refrigerant we are getting. So from low pressure refrigerant to a compressor is taking taking the refrigerant, and it is releasing that particular compressed gas or refrigerant to the condenser section. Am I right? So in this figure you can see the compressor, it is taking the low pressure, low temperature vapor ammonia or vapor refrigerant from the evaporator section, and it is coming to the condenser. In the condenser, and it is entering to the condenser. So by the help of reciprocating compressor, so what is the reciprocating compressor? It is nothing but the reverse of the IC engine. So in case of IC engine, what happened? In case of IC engine, we have seen that the from the inlet valve, the air fuel mixture is entering into the system, and it is by the help of the shaft work, the by the help of some rotary motion or pulsating of motion of the by the help of the rotary motion of the crank rod and the to and fro or pulsating motion of the or reciprocating motion of the piston, the air fuel mixture is compressed and suddenly some spark is given into the system and combustion is taking place, and at the and we are getting expansion we are getting some power stroke or expansion stroke. Then after that the exhaust process is taking place. Okay, so this is how we can say that the IC engine is operating and we are getting some shaft work. Clear? Now the in case of compressor, what happened, the power is given in the shaft. Okay, so in case of IC engine we are getting some shaft work, but in case of compressor power is given in the shaft, and that shaft power is providing it is basically operating the piston, and piston is moving forward, and that means top dead center and to bottom dead center. And what happened, as a whole we can see the compressed air we are getting or compressed refrigerant we are getting at the outlet of the compressor, and this compressed air is taken into in the condenser, and in the condenser what happened, it is condensed and sent back to the evaporator through the capillary tube. Okay, so these are the function of the compressor. Okay, so what happened, the compressor it removes the low temperature and a low pressure refrigerant vapor from the cooling coil through the suction line, and it compresses this refrigerant vapor by increasing the pressure and temperature, resulting in an increase of boiling point of the refrigerant. And next point, it discharges the refrigerant vapor of high temperature and pressure to condenser through the discharge line. There are mainly three types of compressor. So you can say that there are mainly four types of compressor. Here screw compressor is not given. So reciprocating compressor, rotary compressor, centrifugal compressor. These are the main three types of compressor, and screw compressor is also there, but it is not shown. Okay, so basically these three compressor is very important, that is why it is given here. Reciprocating and rotary compressor are more common used in small capacity but for lower evaporative temperature. And the centrifugal compressor are essential large discharge for large discharge capacity compressor. These are preferred for higher evaporator temperature evaporator temperature application like water chiller and the air conditioner. They offers high efficiency but are expensive. Okay, so the reciprocating compressor I can discuss here. This is a single stage reciprocating compressor and how it can be operated. That already I have told you. It is like IC engine. Okay, so in case of IC engine, what happened? We are taking some air fuel mixture, and by the help of combustion process, the shaft work is produced. But in case of compressor, reciprocating compressor, what happened, just reverse of that particular IC engine, what happened, the shaft power is given by the help of motor. Okay, that means electrical power is taken, and then the shaft power, that means when the shaft is rotating, the crank or crankshaft is rotating, the connecting rod is also rotating, and it is the connecting rod is connected with the piston, where the piston cylinder. And what happened, the crankcase, you can see the crankcase. So here when it is the piston is moving from top dead center to bottom dead center, then at that time what we will see that the from the delivery pipe, suction line, okay, some vapor coming from the evaporator section. So from the evaporator section, low pressure, low temperature vapor refrigerant, it is entering into the system through this inlet valve, and it will be open right now, but at that time the delivery valve will be closed. Now when the piston is compressed, that means compress the refrigerant or whatever the mixture or the refrigerant, that refrigerant is compressed. As we know that volume is decreasing, means your pressure is increasing, and as a whole the temperature is also increasing. Okay, so this is the main funda how the temperature is increased. As we know that the piston is moving upward and the space is confined, and here the volume is decreasing and the pressure is and temperature is increasing. Okay, so if it is happening like this, then we can say that the compressed vapor, it is coming out from the delivery valve through this opening. You can say this is your opening, and from this opening high temperature high pressure vapor refrigerant, it is entering, it is coming to the condenser. So this is the process how it is operating. Okay, so the crankshaft is rotating, and this connecting rod, it is providing some force on that particular piston, then piston is moving up to bottom to up, okay, or up to bottom. Okay, so this is how the phenomena is occurring and reciprocating compressor everywhere it is needed. In our lab you will see that reciprocating compressor, that compressor is basically called heart of the refrigeration system. Okay, now the compressor is and this is the reciprocating compressor, and it is and it is suitable for the refrigerant like R12, R22, R502 and R717. Okay, these are the suitable refrigerant for which it can be used. This for the suitable refrigerant which are require relatively small displacement volume and high condensing pressure. So in case of reciprocating compressor, these are the refrigerant what I have mentioned: R12, R22, R502 and R717. Mainly these are the refrigerant which are used and which are require relatively small displacement volume and high condensing pressure. Okay, next is your reciprocating compressor. Here you can see the intake stroke and exhaust stroke. So some part of the mixer or your refrigerant, it is remain, and here the red sign is basically talking about the high pressure vapor, and the left one, that is your green, you can see that is your, it is called your low pressure vapor. Okay, so when the piston is compressed, then we are getting high pressure vapor, but when the piston is not compressed, it is moving downward. then what happened? From the intake port of the suction line, that means from the evaporator, the refrigerant, it is entering into the compressor. So this is all about the refrigerant reciprocating compressor. If I am talking about the rotary compressor, so reciprocating compressor is very effective and useful for your exam point of view. You must go through this part, and a lot of things you need to know. What are the types of the compressor, what are the different working principle of the compressor, that I hope it is clear. So in this figure we have seen that intake stroke and exhaust stroke, both the stroke is shown here. When in case of intake stroke, the piston displacement, it is moving, piston is moving from TDC to BDC, that is your top dead center to bottom dead center, and the intake port of suction line, that valve is also open. That means the from the evaporator to compressor, the opening, that means compressor is, and the from the evaporator, the refrigerant material which is entering into the compressor, that is coming from this inlet valve. So it is open at the time of intake stroke. So after entering into this system, the compression stroke or the exhaust stroke you can see, where the piston is moving from BDC to TDC, and at that time the what happened, that inlet valve is closed and the outlet valve is open, or you can say the exhaust port to the condenser, where this outlet valve exhaust port, it is connected with the condenser. So what happened, at the time of delivery stroke or at the time of exhaust stroke, the refrigerant compressed and pressure is increased, and then it is sending to the condenser. Okay, some clearance is taken, given, because if there is not any kind of clearance, then the intake valve or inlet valve or outlet valve, it may get damaged. So that is why this clearance is provided. That means at the piston is not reaching the topmost point of the TDC, some clearance volume is given, and according to that, accordingly, what we have seen, that the our desired motto is to provide high pressure, high temperature vapor refrigerant in the condenser, where the condensation will be taking place. Okay, so this is how the reciprocating compressor is operated. I hope it is clear. Now there are some basic terminology you need to know in case of compressor. So the important terminology, first of all, I need to say that suction pressure. So PS is denoted as suction pressure, and that suction pressure is what? The absolute pressure of refrigerant at the inlet of the compressor in terms of suction pressure. So when when at the inlet of the compressor and at the outlet of the evaporator, in between this point, so what we have got, that is your the low pressure, low temperature vapor in vapor refrigerant, and the absolute pressure of the refrigerant at the inlet of the compressor is known as the suction pressure, PS, denoted by PS. Now if I am talking about the discharge pressure, it is denoted by PD. The absolute pressure of the refrigerant at the outlet of the compressor is called discharge pressure. Okay, so what is discharge pressure? The absolute pressure of refrigerant at the outlet of the compressor is called discharge pressure. That means at the in this pressure, the refrigerant is entering into the condenser. Okay, next point is your compression. So the compression ratio, you know that compression ratio, the volume at the beginning of compression by volume at the end of the compression, so that is called your compression ratio. So the here we will be talking about the pressure ratio, the ratio of absolute discharge, that is your PD, to the absolute suction pressure, that is your PS, is called compression ratio or pressure ratio. The that means the value is more than unity, and always PD is greater than PS. So we are talking about the pressure ratio here, and the compression ratio may also defined as the total cylinder volume to the clearance volume. So volume at the beginning of compression to the volume at the end of the compression is called your compression ratio. Okay. Now some another term you need to know, that is your suction volume. So suction volume is basically it is a volume of refrigerant sucked by the compressor during its suction stroke. After that you need to know the swept volume. Okay, so we are talking about the swept volume in case of reciprocating compressor. So the swept volume is basically the volume swept by the piston when it moves from its top or inner dead position to the bottom of outer dead center position. Okay, so Vs is the stroke volume, it is equal to pi by 4 d square L. So pi by 4 d square L is the stroke volume, swept volume, or you can say stroke volume. D is the diameter of the cylinder and L is the length of the, so here the diameter is d and length is the stroke length. So the Vs is equal to pi by 4 d square into L. Okay, so that is your swept volume. So this is needed when some numerical I will discuss some numerical that time, at that time it will be needed. Now next is your clearance factor. What do you mean by clearance factor? It is the ratio of clearance volume Vc to the piston displacement or swept volume Vs. So clearance volume is equal to clearance factor is equal to Vc by Vs. Okay. So this is all about the terminology, and one more terminology you need to know, that is compression capacity. What do you mean by compression capacity? Is it is the volume of actual amount of refrigerant passing through the compressor in a unit time, and it is equal to the suction volume. Okay, and at last volumetric efficiency also you need to know in case of this reciprocating compressor. It is a ratio. What is volumetric compressor? It is the ratio of compressor capacity or suction volume to the swept volume. That means actual volume by swept volume or suction volume by swept volume is called the volumetric efficiency. The volumetric efficiency for a good that means a volumetric efficiency of a better compressor is 70 to 80%. We can say, and based on the volumetric efficiency we can say that this amount of volume of refrigerant it is entering, and that means what is the suction volume or actually how much amount of refrigerant is entering by the swept volume. Okay, so actual volume by swept volume is the volumetric efficiency. Okay, so this is all about the terminology. Now the reciprocating compressor, the types of reciprocating compressor, I can say there are mainly three types of, that means two types and of reciprocating compressor: single acting vertical compressor, double acting horizontal compressor. Under this single acting horizontal compressor, we can divide this double acting horizontal compressor into three types: open type, semi sealed type, and hemitypically sealed type. Okay, so hermetically sealed type. Okay, so these are the types. So single acting vertical compressor, the compressor is usually have the cylinder arranged vertically, radially, or in a V or W form. Okay, so this is the single acting vertical compressor. In case of double acting horizontal compressor, that means it can be said that they are cylinder arrangement horizontally reciprocating compressor, and double acting means your in the two stroke we are getting some delivery stroke, we are getting two delivery stroke in one cycle, one rotation. Okay, so these are the your types of the compressor. I hope it is clear. Now let us discuss about the double acting horizontal compressor, the open type, semi-sealed type, and hermetically sealed type. Already I have told you. In case of first one, open type, it is flexible in the sense that that by varying speed of the compressor, different capacity. Okay, different capacity, by varying speed of the compressor, different capacities can be obtained, and it can be operated by any type of prime mover. Okay, such as electrical motor, petrol, diesel or steam engine. Okay, in the field, the motor can be easily changed in case of motor burnout. Okay, and the refrigeration system is not affected by burnout. Okay, so what is the disadvantage? Disadvantage in this type of your open type of your compressor shaft seal, which is most vulnerable point for the leakage of the refrigerant. Now in case of semi-sealed type compressor, what we can see, that in case of semi-sealed type compressor, the motor and compressor are enclosed in common housing, and normally the cylinder head end cylinder head, end plates, and base plate can be removed for servicing the internal mechanism. Okay, and the compressor and motor are coupled together by the common shaft inside the housing. Okay, so this is your semi seal type. Now most important, it is your hermetically seal type. Here in this figure you can see this is a hermetically sealed compressor. So here in hermetically sealed compressor sealed compressor, the motor and compressor are inside a welded steel dome which cannot be removed easily for internal servicing. Okay, so in this figure you can see the basic difference between the compressor and serviceable hermetic compressor is in the means of access of the compressor and motor assembly. Okay, in this case in this case too, the compressor and motor are coupled together by a common shaft inside welded steel dome. Okay, here losses due to the drive package and shaft seal friction are eliminated. Okay, the power required per ton of refrigeration is less than that of the open type. Okay, so in this case of hermetically seal type, the power required per ton of refrigeration is less than that of the open type. Okay, this type of compressor can be operated by only by AC. That means your alternative current AC electric supply, and that too by of the voltage of voltage and frequency, and particular assembly is designed for. Okay, and in the event for motor burnout, highly corrosive hydrochloric and hydrofluoric acid is are formed due to dis disintegration of the fluorocarbon refrigerant, that is your R12, R22, R11. These are the refrigerant we are using here at the high temperature associated with a motor burnout. Okay, the system therefore gets contaminated, and before a repair or new motor compressor assembly is fixed, the system has to be thoroughly flushed and cleaned. So the hermetically sealed type compressor entail there is some merits and demerits. So what are the merits of the hermetically sealed type compressor? Complete prevention of the leakage of refrigerant. And it is the complete prevention of leakage of refrigeration, more compact, and it requires less space and less noisy also. And one number 5 demerit is the being housed in a low pressure area, the motor is cooled effectively. Okay, Now, what are the demerits? Demerits are the wiring of the motor may get damaged, harmed in the presence of moisture. If there is any kind of moisture, then the wire of the motor may get damaged. Okay. Next demerit is the maintenance is difficult. The welded joint has to be broken from the repair, and number 3 is the for evacuation and charging the refrigerant, a separate pump is needed. Okay, for evacuation and charging of the refrigerant, a separate pump is needed. That is the disadvantage, and the maintenance is difficult. The welded joint has to be broken for broken open for repairs. Okay, so these are the demerits. So I hope this is the end of the compressor video. Okay, so next class we will be discussing not only compressor, the reciprocating compressor. Next class we will be discussing about the screw compressor, centrifugal compressor, rotary compressor. Okay, so these are the compressor which we will be discussing in the next class. Today up to this, thank you for listening. Jai Hind.